So I know I haven't been making videos for quite some time, basically a month, but I have seen all the hate that Chuck's been getting, as well as the Gigi situation. So today I'll be giving you my take on Gigi as one of the few people who believe in Gigi's strength, reacting to and explaining the Gigi pick in the recent NA monthly finals, and responding to Sagusta's Chuck hate. Let's get into the video. First of all, Gigi is an insane brawler to play in this meta. I think she is pretty good, not S tier, but still a strong threat, somewhere around A tier. However, I see lots of lower ratings, with the main people who hate on her being Spen and Hayden. The main excuses that they give is that Gigi's only good into specific matchups, and to that I say that that's true for every brawler. Like, if you were to take a brawler like Cert, who's one of the best, if not the best, in this current meta, and place him against a few tanks like Frank and Primo, and then play him against a few snipers like Piper and Mandy, he's obviously going to have a better matchup into the tanks, right? But this is the same for Gigi. If you put her against something like Colt and a Rico, she's going to have a better matchup than against something like a Hank and a Shelly. It's just common sense. You only pick brawlers into their good matchups. Plus, this actually combos into my next point. Gigi, even without a good matchup, he can still be strong. He's strong against a lot more matchups than people realize. For example, Gigi versus Edgar. Who do you think wins? Surprisingly, it's Gigi. Gigi has an insane amount of burst damage and can kill Edgars, Mortises, even Damians. If you manage to play Gigi right, he can beat a Damian 9 times out of 10, which is insane. Plus, one of the other more kind of side arguments that not a lot of people recognize is the fact that when you're playing Gigi, you can't hold lane. That's kind of not true. When you're playing Gigi, you want to switch lanes to get your desirable matchup. That's the same for every single brawler. You want to get your desirable matchup so you can win your lane. However, even disregarding that fact, Gigi's main good maps are the maps that don't have any clear-cut lanes, such as New Horizons or out in the open. Even Hideout is pretty good for her. And honestly, her benefits outweigh her negatives. And a lot of the Gigi haters, I was about to say Chuck haters, had a little bit of flashback there. The Gigi haters are saying that her negatives are insanely overpowering, and they're just not. They are not that much of a problem. So, in my opinion, Gigi's insane. And also, this is directed towards Spen, who said Gigi's only good in Legendary 2 or something like that. When we talk about Miko, last year Miko was regarded as one of, if not the worst brawler in the game. However, Toxic Lotus picked them up many times in Heist at the Brawl Cup 2025, and they managed to get 4th place as a Chinese team with zero expectations. So just because a brawler hasn't been picked up a lot in scrims, just because it hasn't been picked up in the meta more publicly, doesn't mean they're bad. Let's get into the monthly final. Alright, so talking about the NA monthly final. Gigi was played there for the first time in the pro scene by Godno, a fellow Chuckman, and he didn't play the best. He had 3 extremely good matchups. I mean, probably 2 in the Leon and the 8-bit. Star Nova was kind of an air matchup. However, he couldn't capitalize on most opportunities that presented themselves. During the first few sets, he was playing pretty good, but as the round slowly went on, he just couldn't make plays. That's not the full picture though. God Noob's team, sorry, kind of misspoke there. God Noob's team has barely any practice leading up to the monthly final. I think they have I think Team Electros was the team that scrimmed the most, and God Noob's team, David Aura, actually scrimmed the least. So it was honestly just a diff of experience and practice. God Noob was playing a brawler that he's probably never played before in a pro scene, that he has no practice with. Plus, he's playing against one of the best teams in the world. Let that sink in. A few, in the top 1 or 2 teams in the world, there's Team Electro. Foot Esports, which many claim to be the best team in the world right now, they publicly said that Team Electros is the one team they were scared to face. And you expect someone who doesn't even play Gigi, who hasn't practiced a lot, who perform at an insane high level and hard carry, it's just unreasonable. One bad game does not make a bad player, especially since that player is a pro, has been acclaimed many times as being an insanely high skill player, and somehow managed to do a decent job of Gigi and actually get her out into the pro scene. So I think you shouldn't be blaming Godnoob for this. I think we should instead be celebrating it that he saw the potential of Gigi where many others haven't. Let's move on to the juicy part, the Sagusta controversy. Alright, so Sagusta made this statement that the GG performance by Godnoob was all part of the Chuck Council's plan to destroy Gigi's reputation. And by the way, if you're confused, the Chuck Council is just a group of like extremely skilled Chuck mains, some of the best in the world. And yeah, we do like group projects and stuff. More on that later in another video. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. He was referencing a screenshot of Godnoob saying he was gonna go 0 and 11 on the GG. However, instead of blindly picking sides, let's look into this statement. He is not hating on Gigi. He's one of the only non-haters of Gigi on the pro scene. And he gave her a chance. He said he was gonna pick her. And additionally, there's no context to this clip. It was actually in the context that someone on the server, I think it was Hoodie, he asked Godnoob to pick Chuck in the monthly final, and Godnoob actually responded, rightly in my opinion, that he would pick Gigi instead. Because I do agree, Gigi is better than Chuck in this competitive meta. In most scenarios, Gigi will be a better pick than Chuck, of course. And it's just crazy. As for the rest of Sagusta's statement, it's just abysmal and it groups all Chuck mains into one undesirable group. And to that I have to say, why? Chuck mains are not your enemy, Sagusta, okay? Most of the Chuck mains actually support Gigi, and that's shown by Godnoob, one of the best Chuck mains picking her. If you're trying to make out that Godnoob was purposefully trolling by picking Gigi, you should probably report him to the BSC, because this violates the terms of service. And as a member of the Brawl Stars community, I believe that we all need to do our part to stop these rules from being broken. As for the declaration of war, whose side would I be on? I'd probably be fighting myself, to be honest, since I support both Gigi and Chuck. If we're doing a little bit of a Gigi army versus Chuck army, I'd be on both sides. Just food for thought right now, and of course no hate to anyone mentioned in this video, especially Sagusta, whose hate towards Chuck is understandable considering the torture that his comment sections have received due to, in part, certain Chuck mains. That's all from me. I'll be dropping a video defending Chuck soon, so make sure to comment if you want to see me debate another YouTuber on the Gigi situation. Peace.